If you begin to start a meditative practice, there are huge benefits, though. So before we get into the brain tap a little bit, I do want to talk a little bit about just meditation in general. Why do we talk about meditation? Why don't you just think positive? Why don't you just think better or be happy, right? Hey, buddy. So what, because it's not easy for our bodies to work at a conscious level when our subconscious works so much faster. It's it's been studied that our conscious mind, if we were consciously trying to meditate, to consciously focus on a task and create a solution, our brains they go at the speed of about 140 miles per hour when we're consciously thinking about something. Now, that's pretty fast. I don't think I've ever driven 140 miles an hour in a car, but our conscious minds do work quite speedy. But in relation, our subconscious minds travel at 140 million miles an hour. Our subconscious minds process information at such a high speed that no matter how you consciously are trying to outweigh some of the stresses of your life, your subconscious has ever already taken over. And we want to try to teach you and work with you on how to open that door between your conscious and subconscious so that your subconscious mind goes more into that rest and relaxation state versus that fight or flight mode. So BrainTap is one of the beautiful ways to do this, and we're going to get into it in a moment. But let's talk about meditation. I feel myself that guided meditation is the best way to start. I think it's very, very hard without a guide, a coach, an app, or something to kind of lead you through a meditative practice. So one app is called Headspace, just so you know it's out there. I'm sure you can find guided meditations on YouTube for free. BrainTap is that and so much more, which we'll go over. But let's talk a little bit about the meditation benefits of meditation. Number one, our modern world bombards us and our brains with an overwhelming amount of inputs and stressors. Our brains are struggling to adapt. They absolutely are. The lack of brain balance means that we're more anxious, that we're looking for energy in all the wrong places, and we struggle to just even get a good night's sleep. So ultimately, we're overwhelmed. Meditation can reduce stress. It's been proven to reduce stress. Meditation can improve focus and concentration, emotional well-being. The list goes on. There are probably over 10 research benefits of meditation. Some of them have to do with reducing blood pressure, reducing pain, some of the biggies for some of our patients, self-awareness. All these benefits that come from meditation can only happen if you're practicing often. And in today's world, our brains want entertained, don't they? Well, that's the beauty of BrainTap. It's brain entertainment. BrainTap uses a wide variety of stimuluses and technologies in order to try to entertain our brains while at the same time taking the frequency of our brain waves down to more of a relaxed and rested state, as there is audio and visual input into our bodies and visualization, as well as, I would say, auto-suggestion in the ways to try to retrain our subconscious. I'm going to go over a little bit about the BrainTap system. I had one here that I was going to show you guys. Let me grab it real quick. So BrainTap is a system. You can get it on your cell phone. You can put an app on your cell phone. The app on your cell phone easily can be downloaded, and we can send links, but there's like an app that you can put on there. The app can go on your cell phone. You could use earbuds to listen to the binaural beats, isochronic tones, the guided visualization. There's also a 10-cycle holographic music. We'll talk about some of these and how they all work. But ultimately, the BrainTap is a very simple app to download, and we can get you a code so that it's free for at least 14 days, I believe. And we can share that link. It was on the emails that we sent out, but you come in the office, we can share that with you. The BrainTap technology has a couple components. Number one is the app itself. The app is wonderful. You can search for all kinds of different options. anywhere from PTSD to trying to battle chronic thyroid issues, from weight management solutions to pain management solutions. All of them can be found in the BrainTap software. There's probably over 1,000 or more different programs to choose from. But the beauty of this system and the reason that I really grabbed a hold of it is because it doesn't take a lot of effort to become like a master meditation practitioner. You know, if we put you in the mountains and up in China and you had to learn how to be a master meditator, you could figure it out eventually. This system is like you being 20 or 30 years into the game of meditation, and you learn it that quickly because you don't have to do anything. That's the beauty of the technology. By listening, there's a lot of audio technology that's built into this. The BrainTap basically combines a variety of proven methods. These restore balance to your brain. You know what? Again, when we are imbalanced, we're overstimulated in certain areas and understimulated in others. This is why we talk about moving too, because movement is so good, key in balance in our brains. The adjustments are wonderful for that. But what I found is many of my patients have an overwhelming amount of stress, fight or flight response in their day to day life. And that fight or flight response becomes more and more evident and takes over. And before you can even think about it, you're reacting. We need to change that if we want to be truly healthy. That's an interference on our God given ability to be healthy. So, this solution uses sound mainly. You could use that through just earbuds in the app, or we can use light as well as sound. This is a BrainTap device that we do rent these. Instead of you having to buy them, they're over $700 to buy. You can rent them for $100 a month. Basically, this technology sits right on the head and over top the eyes. I look pretty cool, huh? This technology has LED lights on the inside. You can probably see those right there. These lights will flash. When these lights flash and your eyes are closed, your brain has a frequency following response. When there's frequencies placed in front of our eyes, as well as we listen to, our brain follows that frequency. Stress, alertness, anxiety has a higher frequency. We want to lower the frequency. This technology can lower to many different levels, from alpha, beta to delta, and theta even. So these frequencies our brain waves work at can be changed just by light frequency. Also the cool thing is there are lights in the earpieces. Okay, these lights are in there, and this performs auricular therapy or acupuncture in the ears. Light therapy around the ears hyperoxygenates the blood and stimulates the brain to make changes by utilizing that very thin membrane around our ears to stimulate the blood vessels. It also stimulates acupuncture points. So while you're using this, you're getting brain stimulation from the acupuncture meridians in the ear and the lights in front of the eyes. There are some people that can't handle that light, very few, and so this nice thing just flips up. You don't have to do that. But when you combine the light and sound, the light technology with the sound technology, you have some research benefits of this neuroadaptive device that can change cortisol levels. Cortisol levels are your stress levels. They're your stress response. The higher they are, the more stressed you are. If they're too low, then that means you've actually stressed yourself beyond belief. You exhausted the system of stress, and now you just have no energy left. And brain, usually people have more pain and less energy when it gets to that place. But at first, you're wired and tired. Wired and tired is when your cortisol levels are really high. This device has been proven to reduce cortisol levels. It's also been able to improve or increase serotonin. Serotonin is your feel-good chemicals. That's your happiness factor. Increased serotonin increases the likelihood of handling stress better. There are certain other neurochemicals that have been proven to be changed by using the BrainTap technology. But again, this technology can be combined or used by just earbuds. To go through it a little bit, the technology ultimately restores that balance of your brain by trying to optimally perform, help performance of the mind and body. It's a connection. The proprietary technology is designed to take the brain through multiple brainwave states. So no matter what program, let's say you chose a program for pain, it's going to start by having an alert state and bringing you down to a very deep state, bringing you back out. That's up and down happens on all the programs. If you are trying to get to bed, there are programs that are going to try to keep you down there, and there's ways that it does that. If you're trying to just get a quick reboot, it will bring you back up so you're alert. This technology has been used in many ways. Right when you wake up to right before you go to bed to the middle of the day. 3 times a day is the best way to use something like this. Um, the basically the deep relaxation that is performed is usually at a delta state. So many people have trouble sleeping. There's a whole number of programs on here about getting deeper sleep and utilizing it before bed. Um, the technology communicates directly with your brain, ultimately through flashing. Your eyes pick it up. The eye nerves are the closest related to your brain, other than the nose. Your nose actually has a direct response. That's why you can emotionally be connected to smells. Absolutely why. But your eyes, that's the second closest. And when your eyes are seeing these flashing, they're immediately connecting to your brain, bringing that frequency down. You don't have to really do anything. You just sit back and relax. You push play and you close your eyes. Let's talk a little bit about the science of the technology. Central to the BrainTap technology is this brainwave entertainment. The brain will naturally synchronize with its external rhythms. So I don't know, you ever listen to certain music and you just start moving. You just start moving to the beat. That's because our brains are going to synchronize with our outside environment. This technology, using the lights and sound, help you to synchronize. The sessions are custom encoded. They deliver rhythms that help the brain move through these deeper frequencies or desired frequencies. And there's several modalities. If you get you might download programs here and there on the internet. A lot of times they may only have one or two technologies. Again, this has like 5 different technologies to it. That's why we do love it. So binaural beats is one of the first technologies. That means that we're going to send a tone in one ear, another tone in another ear, and the brain actually perceives a third tone. This helps to balance and synchronize the brain. Isochronic tones. These tones are equally intense. They're equal, but they're intense pulses of sound. It's separated by an interval of silence. So it's a do 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 do. The tones and pulses that rapidly, and they vary in speed. This is depending on the desired brain frequency we want. They'll beat in different times. These isochronic tones. Visualization. There have been many, many studies that have proven that athletes, as well as general population, have benefited from visualization. There is almost no difference in how your brain activity fires from you performing a task. Let's say it's running. If you run, your brain will fire in certain ways. If you close your eyes and vividly imagine running, the same centers of your brain will fire. And on a brain scan, it would look like you're running even if you were just laying there. Your brain does not know the difference between something that's vividly imagined and something that's actually being done. So guided visualization uses a narrator. Not everyone likes these programs, but they're very, very valuable. I think Victoria is going to share a story here in a moment about that. But the narrator basically guides you. This is somewhat, if you call it a guided visualization. You envision many, many things. But the beauty of this is while you're visualizing, you may be in front of a pond or an open forest or on a mountain. All these visualizations happen. You might visualize things that you're afraid of, people that you want to say, I'm sorry to. All these things will happen. But at the same time, there's a sonic technology called 10 cycle holographic music that produces like a 360 sound environment. So you feel during the visualizations like it's real. You're surrounded in that environment. You'll feel like you're in the woods. This is going to be able for your brain to learn. Ultimately, the benefits of brain technology are going to improve clarity for you. The power to maintain, perspective, to think clearly, to learn quickly, all enhances with the use of this technology. There's plenty of programs for kids. I think I saw Amanda, your son was there. We can put it on his head if he could sit still. That's tough, trust me. But there are short programs for kids too. Sleep quality is going to be hugely improved. So, there's tools in here to get to sleep faster and get a deeper sleep. This sleep is vital to health, vital. If we don't get enough sleep, we cannot recover. And over years or decades, we may ask ourselves, am I just getting older? Why doesn't my body do what it used to do? If we're not getting good sleep, we can't imagine that our body can stay at the potential that it used to have. The last benefit, the improved clarity, better sleep, reduced stress is more energy. When your brain is balanced, when you are can regulate the chemicals being released by your brain, you have more energy. The ability to recharge your system is huge with this. To remind you too, the light frequency, these gentle pulses, they're just going to be delivered through the retina, the ear meridians. It's direct signals right to that brain, and that's part of the beauty of this. And I feel like for some people, you need something to remind you to do things. So my last point before I want to share the story that Victoria was going to share is that meditation has huge benefits. Slowing down and calming down in today's society couldn't be more important, but it couldn't be harder to do. It's harder than ever because there's so many things trying to grab our attention. So we have to kind of fight fire with fire. If we're going to try to change our bodies and our minds, we have to have ways that can be as intense and as entertaining as the things that are on our phones, that are on TV, that are all around us. But we're not going to remember to do them right off the bat. We have to get into habits. When you can be disciplined, that equals freedom. A lot of people think, oh, discipline means I'm restricted. I can't do this. I can't do that. But discipline actually gives you the freedom to experience things in a whole new way. BrainTap technology will give you the freedom, if done disciplined regularly, to be in situations that might normally affect you and you'd be completely calm. It gives you the ability to sleep better, the freedom to wake up with more energy and do things without being so overwhelmed that you can't give the emotional support you might need to your children or to your friends or to your family. Your body can be drained daily by so much. So the beauty of having something with it like this that's tangible, you see it, you can't miss it. If you spend some money to rent something like this, and I think we give you the software for free for the first month when you rent this, it will sit there. It'll sit beside your bed. Hopefully you put it right on the kitchen table. It's got to be somewhere you see every day. And hopefully you bring it with you. If you see something like this, you have a better chance of it interrupting your patterns of stress and tension and say, ooh, it's BrainTap time. When you get into the rhythm, you can stay in it, but getting into it's the hardest thing for all of our patients. And this technology actually has programs to help you become more diligent, but you have to have something to remind you. Just the app on your phone may not do it unless you're pretty diligent, right? So you have to break patterns and we have to be diligent. If it's our exercises, if it's every Tuesday getting on these workshops, if it's making your adjustments on a regular frequency to get the most out of your care, we have to be disciplined to do these things. Our bodies will not heal without us obeying the laws that govern us. And one of those is getting that rest, relaxation, and recovery.